This is homework example lesson 18, number 5. And so it says, there are 7 teams in the soccer tournament. 10 children play on each team. How many children are playing in the tournament? Use the break apart and distribute strategy and draw a number bond to solve. So the first thing we have to do is figure out what we're being asked to do. Well, they're asking us to tell them how many children are playing in the tournament. They also want us to use the break apart and distribute strategy and draw a number bond. Okay? So those two things can be considered together because we are going to break apart once we use a number bond. Again, a number bond is just a picture that shows whole and parts. And so we're going to start with the whole. When we draw a number bond here, what information do we know? So I started to strategize a little bit, but I need to go back and analyze what is it that I know. I know that there are 7 teams in the soccer tournament. I know that 10 children play on each team. So they told me all of that. What I don't know is how many children play all together, but I know that if I have 7 teams and that 10 play on each, I can do that by multiplying 7 times 10. Because it will tell me I'm going to, this is like adding 7, 10 times to figure it out. And so I know that I could use the break apart. There are some numbers that I just know easily. So I can break 7 apart any way I need to. I also know that 7 times 10 is the same thing as 7 tens. I said that already. Okay, so I can break 7 down into 2 friendlier numbers for me to work with, whatever is easier. So maybe I feel like working with 2 is easy. So 2 times 10 plus, you want to figure, plus what I have here, I have 5, because 2 plus 5 would give me 7. So I have 5 times 10 here. And I add those 2 together, it would give me 7 times 10. So now my job is just to break it down and figure out what it is. I know that 7 times 10 is equal to 2 times 10 plus 5 times 10. My job is just to figure out what those are. So I could count by 2 10 times to figure out what 2 times 10 is. Or I can count by 10 2 times. And when I do that, I get a total of 20. I can count by 5 10 times, or I can count by 10 5 times. Let's practice. So I have 5, and I'm going to use each one just to count by 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 5 times 10 is 50. So now I've reduced it into 20. Notice how 20 is the same as 2 tens. And 50 is the same as 5 tens. So 7 times 10, we already said, is the same as 7 tens. So 20 plus 50 added together give me 70. This is just a way to break down the problem for yourself so that you can figure out a bigger problem put together. So altogether, I know that there are 70 children playing in the tournament. How did I figure that out? I broke down 7 times 10. This is why I think my answer is right, into 2 times 10 plus 5 plus 10, because or 5 times 10, because I know that 2 plus 5 is 7. I know that when I multiply 2 times 10, I get 20, and when I multiply 5 times 10, I get 50. This number bond represents something that's all equal to each other, so I can set it all equal. 7 times 10 is the same as 2 times 10 plus 5 plus times 10. So then I get 20 plus 50, and it gives me a total of 70. So that's what I think it is. This time I didn't have to put a box around my answer because they gave me a blank line. And there we are. There's an example of using a number bond and breaking apart to figure out the answer.